Hello and welcome. I'm so excited to have you here with us today for our next session of the Course Profits Workshop. We're having such a good time helping people figure out some new ways to be able to create and market and sell their online courses. So today's expert is going to be so much fun. He's one of my favorite video gurus, and he's all about using AI tools to make all of this faster and easier. So, Lou Bortone, we're going to watch his interview, and he really helps us dig into the nitty gritty of a tool called Descript. So, hang on for that. But before we get there, I do want to share with you a couple other things that are also going on so that you are able to see what else we've got cooking for you because we've got lots of extra things happening. So we are, if you have not signed up yet, let me show you how to do that. And we're going to take you over here. You can go to courseprofitsworkshop.com. You'll see this banner at the top and just click this orange button and it will get you signed up. And then you'll get an email with the link to the replay page. You can see it says replays up here and a couple things on this page so that you know there is a workbook for you. So let me share the screen so that you can see all of these great features. All right. So, there is an option for the workbook so that you can hear about the different things and take notes and have them all in one place. Plus, there's some links to some of the things that the experts are talking about. So, download that workbook right here. Also, if you want to check in and get a private podcast link. So this is so that you can listen on your podcast app. Go right here. It's free. You can jump in and then there's instructions on how to add it to Apple Podcasts so that you can get all of the episodes and like listen whenever it's convenient for you while you're doing chores, that kinds of thing. And then next week, make sure you're on this email list because I'm giving away this social media planner that I was originally going to sell, but I want to give it away to everyone who has signed up. So make sure you jump in for that so that you get that next Thursday. If you haven't signed up, click one of these sign up buttons and get on the list. And then the last thing I want to tell you about before we go and listen to Lou's interview is the mini course magic live workshop. We're going to be doing this on April the 27th. So that's not this Saturday, but next Saturday, April the 27th of 2024, if you're listening to this later. And it's a 2-hour workshop where I'm going to walk you through how to create your mini course on the call. We're going to have part of it's going to be work time, part of it's going to be brainstorming time, like to get your title. I really want to get a really good title for you. And it's using a new AI tool to help you if you want. It's optional, but if you want some help on the outline, plus the really cool part, the hosting of this whole mini course, it's all for free, and the course is set up to be taken on your phone, which is a new concept of micro learning. So I'm giving everyone a discount. So if you want to jump in on this, you can go to the replays page and you'll see right here where it says mini course work magic live, and you can click this orange button. It will take you over to the sign up page. Just scroll to the bottom and you should see the $50 off here at the bottom. If not, you might have to put in the coupon code save that 50, but save that $50 so that you can get that discount. So would love to have you join us for the mini course magic workshop. All right. So our highlight for today is going to be Lou Bortone's interview. And he is such a talent at not only video, but also a lot of these AI tools. So I'll be sharing the link so that you can he did this great workbook for us where he signed up for all these tools and tested them out and put it all together so that we don't have to go through and do all of that legwork. So I'll be sharing that link in a little bit for you so that you can jump in and get a hold of that. So lots and lots of stuff going on. Hopefully all of this has been super super helpful for you over the past few weeks to give you some new ideas on new ways to not only build your revenue, but new ways to get in front of your audience. And today especially is going to be about either doing video in a new way or doing it faster, which that is my favorite part. I love the fact that we can use some of these tools and be faster, be better, be reaching our perfect clients in whole new ways without having to spend hours and hours and hours and days trying to pull a video together. So Descript is a really incredible tool to help you with that. All right. And feel free, if you have questions, post them into the chat. I would love to hear what you're thinking, hear how you're using some of these ideas, some of the things that are going on for you. Would love to hear how you are using these concepts. And if you've ever used Descript before, since that's the tool we'll be talking about today, would love to hear what you think. All right, so let's jump in. We will get started on Lou's interview, and thanks for being here. Hey, welcome to the next session. And I'm so excited because we have Lou Bortone with us. He is an incredible video guru and AI. So not only do you get the video side of things, but we're going to talk about AI, specifically how to sell more of your online courses with Descript. It's a very, very cool tool. And Lou is my guru and expert that, and he teaches all the secrets around Descript, plus all about doing video. So, Lou, thank you so much for being here and helping us with this topic. I so appreciate it.
This AI thing has been keeping all of us busy. It's like, oh, it's, yes, it's definitely making things easier, but it's also a lot of new stuff to learn.
Right? Yes. So I'm so grateful for you to help simplify this piece of it for us. So, and I know you said you have a presentation even, so let's jump on in. If anybody happens to be listening to the audio, you can definitely just listen to the audio. I'll put the link to the full video in case you want to go back and catch all the good screen shares too. So
cool.
Awesome.
But what I like to talk about is the AI stuff. I'll just skip through here. And oftentimes I'll look at Descript as my favorite AI tool. So I'll probably focus mostly on that, but I also want to talk a little bit about video in general and how to use AI to, basically make your workflow a lot faster and a lot easier. But what people often do when they think of AI is they want to jump right to ChatGPT, or they want to go right to a video software or go right to Descript and start using it. And I always try to back them up a little bit and say, okay, what are you actually trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? Now, obviously, we're trying to sell more courses. Does that mean creating a sales video for your course, or maybe repurposing a podcast about your course, or just making better videos in general? These are some of the things that you can do with Descript and do it a lot faster. And again, you really want to sort of take a step back and say, well, what am I actually trying to accomplish before I dive in and start to do all this stuff? But the great thing about this software that I'm a fan of, Descript.com, is it does a lot of things that we used to do with other software. So I used to have Rev.com for transcriptions. I used Loom for recording, or Zoom. I used Final Cut Pro for video editing. And Descript, when I discovered this a few years ago, I'm like, oh my God, this can do all of those things in one place, so I don't have to jump around as much. And, I also was able to kind of end my transcription to rev.com, and I don't use certain software anymore because everything sort of lives in this one software.
So there were two things you said that I want to make sure everyone caught, because I get this question a lot. Folks that are trying to figure out where to record their videos and where to edit. And so Descript, you said, does both of those, right? Yeah,
you can record right into Descript and then edit into Descript as well. So like if you normally record on Zoom or Loom or another platform, you can also do that in Descript.com.
Very cool. So keep going. Sorry, I just want to make sure you caught that.
But again, like before we jump too much into the software, I like to say, well, let's give it some context and figure out exactly why we're trying to do all this stuff. And that's why, as you know, I've been doing video forever. And I often talk about video as sort of a little bit of the magic bullet or the must-have marketing, whether you're promoting courses or lead magnets or whatever it may be, video is an awesome way to do that. And AI is making video a lot easier, a lot more affordable, a lot more accessible. But again, you sort of have to say, all right, well, what am I actually trying to accomplish here before I just go off and dive down another rabbit hole? And the great thing about video is, this is my favorite video stat, and I've been using it for a while. Brands that use video marketing drive revenue 49% faster than non-video users.
Wow.
Oftentimes, if we're buying something, I know I do this if I'm looking on Amazon or whatever, I want to see the video. The video is going to help me make a decision. It's going to help me learn about a product or a service. And 90% of consumers say that video does help them make buying decisions. So obviously, big fan of video. I use it in my own business. I use it for my clients. And I often remind folks, don't get too caught up about the technology, because at the end of the day, the technology is fine. But what you're really trying to do is make a connection and use video to really engage your prospects or clients. And there's a quote by this guy, Mike Henry, which I love, because it says, we're operating in a world where one good video can lead to a massive social following. And we've seen that over and over again, that, somebody finally gets that viral video that gets 1 million views. I had a video that's got like 750,000 views. I'm like, where the heck did that come from? But, I'll take it. It only takes one. So get those videos out there. And again, the reason I like video and I like using AI for video is that you can use it to build trust and loyalty. Video is very personal and engaging. It really makes that emotional connection. It helps you be more approachable. And so sometimes when you talk about AI and video, people think of video clones or like an avatar, and I'm not really a fan of that. I'm talking about using AI to make video easier so that you can connect and engage with your folks. Mm-hmm. And you can do that by repurposing your existing content using AI, like Descript. So if you've got blog posts or articles or podcasts, all of that stuff can become videos much more easily. You can turn text into video very easily, which is totally amazing. Even though the AI video clones are still a little weird, the AI video voices are amazing and realistic. And then finally, if you're doing videos, this software and other software helps you add captions really easily and quickly. And that's important because particularly on LinkedIn, 85% of the videos are watched with the sound off. So the captions are really important to make sure that people understand the video.
And Descript does captioning for you too, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So again, and the reason why a lot of people like video is because it gives them the most amount of information in the shortest amount of time. So that's a big advantage about video. So are you ready to dive into Descript a little bit more specifically?
Yes, please.
And we can, again, stop me anytime. But I found this software a few years ago, and it was primarily a podcasting software. And the reason I liked it was because if you're involved in video, as you may know, all these things get expensive. Final Cut Pro is $300, Camtasia is $300, Adobe After Effects is $360, and then all these subscription things like iStock Photos or Rev.com. All this stuff adds up. But as I mentioned earlier, Descript does all of that and eliminates the need for most, if not all, of that software, because you can do your video editing in Descript, you can do your podcasting in Descript, you can record your screen like you would on Zoom or Loom. Get transcriptions, create clips, all kinds of really cool stuff. So that's the reason why I'm so high on this software, is because it streamlines your workflow and eliminates the need for a ton of other software. And it started as a podcasting software. A lot of the better known podcasts used it for that, but it has evolved and grown into a video tool. So that's when I got really excited about it, because when I do traditional video editing, like on Final Cut Pro, it usually involves a timeline, and I'm sure you've seen all this, and people get really nervous or freaked out when like, oh my God, editing, look at how complicated it is. Well, all that stuff goes away in Descript because you're not editing in the traditional timeline. You're editing, like this is my Final Cut Pro, this is one of my videos, and you can see all the layers and different things that have to happen. So to do a 3-minute video, that way took hours and hours. And now in Descript, you edit the text instead of the timeline. So it totally turns video on its head.
This is
So,
my favorite feature because I agree with you. Trying to edit all of the little video waves was so time consuming, and get it
yeah.
just right, where you could just go and say, take these words out or change these words.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my
It's pretty
favorite.
cool. So the way it works is you basically import audio or video into Descript, and it immediately transcribes the video for you, really accurately. I'm surprised because even with my Boston accent, it usually understands what I'm saying. So now I've got a transcription and I've got my video here, and whenever I edit the text or edit the Word document, those changes are reflected in the video. So instead of editing a timeline, which they still have down here, but instead of editing that timeline, you're editing a Word doc. So that's really cool. The other thing is you can take out all the ums and ahs, which I had no idea how much I say and ah, but I say it a lot, I guess. And whatever changes you make in that text will be reflected in the video. So you can take your filler words out, all those ums and ahs. You can add studios, what they call studio sound, with one click. So right now my pugs are napping, hopefully, but if they barked and if we're recording this and I put it into Descript and click on the studio sound, that you won't hear that background noise. You won't hear the dogs barking. You won't hear the guy blowing his leaves next door. So that's pretty cool. And other things that I'll show you along the way, like green screen and just some really cool things that you can do with this software. So again, you're editing the text rather than the traditional timeline like you normally would in other video programs. So some of the things that you can do with Descript is you can take an audio podcast and turn that into a video. You can take an article or a blog post and turn that into video. You can do green screen, which I'll show you in one click without even having a green screen behind you. You can resize a video. So if you've got a landscape video and you want to make a vertical video for Instagram Reels, you can do that much more easily in Descript than you can in other programs. You could take a Zoom interview like this and edit that and clean it up and use it in Descript. Clips for podcast, intros, outros, social media promos. I mean, there's really no limit to what you can do with this lovely little piece of software. And it's all kind of in one place. They've got stock media, so rather than having to go to deposit photos or iStock photo, all of that stuff's included in Descript, so I can just pull it right from Descript without having to go to a different software.
That's a big time consuming piece. I've only done that a few times of trying to go and track down, I think they call it B-roll. So it's like
B-roll.
Videos to include to kind of make it more interesting. So it's not just you on the screen, and very time consuming. So I didn't realize it was actually in Descript. That's neat.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. They have a little media section up here, and when you go, and I'll show you in a moment, but you can go and basically search for whatever you want, and a whole bunch of images or videos will come up. So typically a project looks like this in Descript. This is a client's project, and she was at, she does horse rescue stuff, and she was at a big expo, and I brought in the video, and she was so far away from the camera that the audio was bad. So I'm like, okay, I can make the audio sound a little better, and I can add captions so that people will be able to see exactly what she's saying if they're having difficulty hearing her. The other thing is you can see here where it's got filler words like right or I can take all those out with one click and make it sound a lot cleaner and more articulate. So you're editing a Word doc rather than going down here and trying to cut and paste and trim and do all that stuff that you'd normally do in a timeline.
And, this is one of those pieces that I think holds up a lot of course creators from even getting their courses done, is trying to do video and then trying to do all the editing. So I'm so glad you're teaching people how to do this.
Yeah, I mean, you can do entire courses here. Like if maybe you're recording a PowerPoint or you're recording, something like we're doing here, you can bring that in and clean it up and clean up the sound. You can add, if you want to add your course, like intros and outros or little animated intros or course logos. They have templates here that you can customize. So you can say, oh, I want to use this as an intro, I'm just going to change the text to, my new course or whatever the title is, and pull that over, drag and drop, and you've got your little intro. Again, normally that would have been like, oh my gosh, I've got to go find the software, or I've got to hire somebody on Fiverr to do it. And now you can do it in minutes in the software.
Incredible.
Again, you can record right into it. You can record audio or your camera, or you can record you on screen, just like you would in Loom. So you know how that little circle comes up? You can do that into Descript as well. You can, I don't know what that, you can, the other thing that I meant to mention was that Descript acquired a software called Squadcast, which is like a podcast recording software. So if you want to record your videos and you want to do them much higher quality, I don't know why I look like somebody hit me over the head here, but you can do that. Squadcast and Descript are now one and the same. So you can record in Squadcast and then edit it right in Descript. This is particularly good for podcasters or people who are doing interviews. You can have 2-3 people on screen and record it in Squadcast and then just bring it right into Descript for editing, because they're now, basically the same company.
Oh, that's so neat.
Yeah. The other great thing is, as I mentioned, they have something called Studio Sound. And this is something where, again, if you get a video or you're recording your course and you're making your modules, and you realize that, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that, something was going on in the background, or there's a big hum or buzz, or there was noise, you can just add the studio sound and instantly make any audio sound so much better. It takes out all the background noise, so you can sound like really professional when you're recording your course content. And if you don't like your own voice, they have what's called stock voices. So if you want to do, I do this for intros, like I want to say, I want somebody to introduce me in the course, but I don't have somebody to do it, or I don't want to hire a voiceover person. So I'm just going to go in here to the stock voices and choose one of their realistic voices to read my text. So that's really cool too, because you can get another voice or a voiceover to sort of add a professional feel to your course intros.
Oh, that's neat.
And they've got all kinds of, the male, female, British accent, Australian accent, all kinds of different stock voices. And you just go in and pick the voice you want and say, I want, Emily to read this text for me. And it's as simple as that.
Oh my goodness.
The other thing that Descript does that kind of blew me away was green screen. So they have a one-click green screen function where no matter what your background is, you can take out the background, even if you don't have a green screen, even if you had bad lighting, and then replace the background with whatever else you want. So that gives you a lot of flexibility too. So if you are in an office and maybe your background was a little messy or something, or you want a nature background or an office background, you can just knock out your background and replace it with another image or another background really easily. This is, again, one of those things that in Final Cut Pro probably would have taken 45 minutes, and now it's just like, click, okay, there, it's fixed.
I bet you're just like happy all day as you're going through this and going, look at how much time I'm saving.
It's amazing. I'm able to do so much more stuff because it's so much quicker. And again, you don't have to, as you mentioned, they have the B-roll. So if you want to add images or other things to your video, all that stuff's included. So you've got access to stock photos and images and music, all kinds of cool stuff in there.
So we should tell people, because the first time I heard this, I didn't know, what does B-roll stand for, and then
it's really background footage. So oftentimes if you're watching, oops, I just messed up my screen there. Sorry about that. I lost my screen. I'll go back to it. If you're doing a video, or if you're watching video on TV and you don't want to just have the talking head the whole time, you might want, maybe the newscaster is talking about a parade or something like that, and they're like, okay, they're going to show footage of a parade while they're talking. So it's sort of background footage or different footage to make the video more interesting, so it's not always just a talking head.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. Correct.
Yeah. So in addition, you can have audio as well. So if you want to put music or sound effects behind your video, I used to have to go buy stock audio footage. And the clips could be like $20, $30 a pop. And with Descript, it's all included. So I can go here and say, I want to have an upbeat background. I want to have a quiet background, whatever it is. They've got thousands of different music things that you can use, and you don't have to pay extra, and you don't have to do any royalties or worry about putting it on YouTube or any of that stuff. So all that stuff is included when you have Descript, so you don't have to go chasing around for it somewhere else. So again, you can, if you have a widescreen video, you can change that to vertical, and that's really good because if you decide to do TikTok, assuming it doesn't get banned, or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts, you can change your widescreen video to a vertical video really quickly and easily inside of Descript.
Wow,
So,
and that looked like it
used a lot.
even rearranged it.
Yeah, so you just move the elements around.
It didn't just like add spacing. It actually moved it around.
Yep. So, basically I could say, all right, I'm going to put my image at the bottom and the graphic on the top instead. So you don't have to, it won't get chopped off and you won't lose the text like you normally would.
Right.
So that's pretty cool. When you start with Descript, you can start with a text file. You can start from recording. You can write right into it, or you can start with one of their templates. So there are a bunch of different ways to kind of get into it. Oftentimes what I'll do is if I have a blog post, I might just copy and paste it here. So now it's got my script, and then I can start to add footage or anything else that I want once I'm already into Descript. And I mentioned, like, I didn't realize how many times I say and It's like, oh my God. So this is my regular script. And you can see I've got, I don't know how many ums and ahs there, but all I have to do is say remove filler words and then apply to all, and it takes out all of those words instantly. So I immediately sound smarter than I am. So,
I did this with an interview the other day, and it's so much better. I didn't notice it too, right? Yeah.
You don't realize all that. And, other times it's like, I might be repeating words and it'll take out the repeated words. So, especially with my Boston accent, it just makes me sound a lot smarter when I take out all the ums and ahs. Again, if I have noise in the background, I can just go to Studio Sound and click on that, and it will make it sound a lot better. Here in the text, it spelt my name wrong, but I can correct that in the text. Especially, which is good if I want to add captions to my video. So I'm basically just going in here and saying, okay, it spelled my name wrong here. I'm just going to go here and correct it, and then it'll be correct in the rest of the video.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. The B-roll thing I mentioned, like if I was like in this particular thing, it was a bio video, and I wanted to talk about the fact that I was from Boston. So I went up to the files and I searched Boston. And all of this is actually video, which you can't tell from the still, but all this footage came up of Boston. So I can just pull it over, drag it over and say, okay, well, I'm talking about Boston. I want to show Boston. So I did that all within Descript without having to go search for footage anywhere. So that was really cool as well. And these are just ways where, like, again, if you want to make your course more engaging or more interesting, and you want to put some footage behind it or something that's related to the course, you can do that in this software as well.
So this is kind of a general question I'm going to throw out to you, but for the background video, I was playing with an AI tool the other day, and it tried to turn like almost every other word into background video. And so that was not a pleasant experience. But do you have any kind of recommendation of how much of the swapping out video should we be doing and switching?
That's a really good question, because you don't want it to be so jarring that the viewer gets a headache or whatever. But I would just say, like, okay, I've got 2 lines here where I'm talking about being from Boston. And the nice thing about Descript is I can select just those 2 lines and say, okay, show this footage just over this section. So I don't want to have it changing constantly. I just want to break up the video so it's not just me as a talking head the whole time.
Right.
So, I know it's the same thing in courses, like you call it a pattern interrupt. Like, okay, you want there to be enough interest so that the viewer stays engaged, but you don't want it to be so much that it's like, oh my God, this is like an MTV video that's making me dizzy. So You
I'm
know, you
glad
have
I'm
to,
not the only one. Came across one the other day that I had to like step away because it was so
yeah.
fast and so much switching. So,
Some of the
okay.
AI things will like, will basically give you a different piece of footage for every single line, which might be a little over the top. But with this, you can sort of select when and where you want to use that. Same with the
That's
music. You can add
perfect.
the music to the whole video, or you can add it to just a section. And you can control the volume so it's not, overpowering what you're saying. Again, the other thing I like about this is it's really easy to add captions. So if I
Mm,
make this video into a square video, and then I can add the captions just by clicking captions, and then I can customize them or change the background or the color. So I have all, full control over what that looks like. I can add waveforms. This is something, again, maybe somebody's watching your course with the sound off. They can see if you add a waveform, it just gives it that sort of graphic, makes it a little bit more interesting.
right.
So if I do videos for LinkedIn, I usually do captions and these waveforms like this because chances are people are watching it with the sound off and they can still get the gist of the video because they're seeing the words, they're seeing that sound wave. And then finally, the last thing I like about the software is the green screen function. So if I'm on screen here and I have a crazy background and I want to replace it, I can do one click green screen here over here on effects where it says green screen, and you can see that it completely knocked out the background. And then now I've got, basically nothing behind me. So I can go into videos or images and say, find me an office interior. So I search office interior and I've got all these different things to choose from. And then I pick one and I put it in the background. And now I've got a brand new background,
Oh, that's
just
so
like that.
good.
And again, I didn't have a green screen. My lighting wasn't ideal. And you don't get all that weird shadowy, blurry stuff around you. It's nice and clean. If I don't like that background, I just go pick a different one. And maybe I want something that's a little bit more out of focus. But I just go up to my files and I say, find me an office, replace the background, and bada bing, bada boom, there you go. And then when you're done and you're happy with the way your course module or your video looks, you can just export it. You can also export the transcript because maybe you're doing a course and you want to add transcripts as a bonus or something. Maybe you're doing a podcast and you just want to export the audio. You can do all of that stuff within Descript as well.
Oh, so
So
neat.
that's the beauty of this particular software is you can use it for a lot of different things, and it's pretty reasonable. I mean, it's $12 a month for the creator edition, which gives you up to 10 transcription hours a month, probably enough to do most courses. Because I use it for clients and I use it so extensively, I'm on the pro version, but even that's on less than $300 a year. So for me, it replaces a lot of other tools. So I end up saving money in the long run.
Yes, I can totally see how this is a much more reasonable, um,
Hmm.
just for the audio and the B-roll and
Oh
those
yeah,
alone, plus all the other features. So,
yeah.
um,
So
and
that's it. I mean, you can use all this stuff helps you basically, cut down your editing time. Again, maybe your course is in text form and you want to turn that to video. All these different things that you can do with this software makes creating a course or creating any kind of video a lot easier, I think.
oh, totally. So, if do you have real quick because we need to wrap
Sure.
up here,
Yep.
but do you have suggestions if we're trying to sell a course
Hmm.
and what is the best type of video to be sharing or like what's just one thing
Yeah.
you would say to do?
It really depends on your audience and where they are. But again, you can create one course promo, like a 2-minute video, put it on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and you pretty much, blasted it out to all your potential people. Like, hey, I've got this great course coming up, just do like a teaser and show a little bit of the course or talk about the benefits. So it just, it doesn't have to be a fancy video, just a quick little promo that you can do to put on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. Those are the three platforms I usually promote to.
That's fantastic and doesn't sound like it would be too complex. But if we're wanting to learn more, I know that you
Hmm.
teach everyone how to use Descript and how to jump
Yes.
in addition to a lot of the other things that you do. But I will link to your
Thanks.
Descript course. Plus, tell us about the free gift because I'm
Yes.
excited.
You're the first people to ever see this. I put together a really comprehensive guide to AI video because besides Descript, there are many tools out there. So I sort of did a summary of all the tools and compared them and said this one does this one does that, with the links and the pricing. Because again, you have to decide what's the best tool for this particular job. So I'll give you the link to that PDF. It's just a very, comprehensive all-in-one guide to like everything you need to know about AI video tools.
Oh, so good. And I so appreciate you doing all this work so the
My
rest of
pleasure.
us don't have to
Yeah, it's
to
like I keep
figure
saying,
this all out.
I buy all like this one's $10 a month, this one's $20 a month. It's like, let me buy all this crap and tell you what's worth it and what's not, so that you don't have to go through it all. I'll just sort of curate it all for you and pull out the best pieces.
Exactly. So that's why everybody needs to jump on this and grab these resources from you. So thank you so much, Lou. I
Yeah,
really appreciate you sharing all your wisdom with us.
no
So
problem. Happy to help.
oh my goodness, wasn't that so good? Like Lou really shared with us some of the secrets to using Descript. Plus, he just has this wealth of knowledge around doing video that I love. So make sure you get his free gift. It's at coursecreatorshq.com/. Lou AI video guide, or if you'd rather, you can just click the button on the page. So that's a whole lot easier too. So let me take you over here and I will show you where that's at so that you can just grab his free gift and go from there. And I hope that this inspired you, that you are excited about doing video, that you are excited about all of these new tools. So this is the replay page. You will see here up at the top. This is how you know it says replays up here. And then if you scroll down, you will see Lou's interview. And right here, you can get his free gift, which is the AI video guide. That it's so good. It's very comprehensive. He went through and analyzed a bunch of the tools that are out there for us and to help us figure out which ones are the best to use and which ones like the pricing, like he was saying. So it will save you hours and hours and hours of time. And you can see on here next week's interview is all about Pinterest with my friend Jana Osofsky. So if you have not signed up yet, make sure you go to courseprofitsworkshop.com and it will look like this, and you can click this get free access button, and then you'll be able to jump in and get access to all the interviews. I'm keeping them all available for free. There isn't this upgrade. There's no VIP upgrade or anything. We are doing some special offers for you, but you will get access to all of the interviews for free. So go ahead and grab those so that you can get on the list. And last thing I will mention, if you haven't signed up yet, the big offer that we've got, we've been mixing up some of the different offers that we're doing. So you can see a couple different things that are going on. Next week, I'm going to give away a free social media planner to everyone who signed up. And then this was our first special offer. That one has already expired, but you could still jump in for the Mini Course Magic Live. And this one has been super, super popular for 2024 because folks are recognizing that we need to change up the way that we are teaching people, the way we're putting our courses together. and make them more compatible on a phone and more of a micro learning concept. So those are the two big things that we're going to be digging into at this workshop. If you can't join us live, if you're busy, no worries. You will get replay access afterwards so that you can watch it on your own time. But would love to have you, and you can jump in for just $47. So when you click this button, it will take you over here and you can read all about the course. And then at the bottom, make sure it says that minus $50 and you can jump in for just 47. So excited about all of the things that we've got cooking. There's so many new advancements, and I hope you have enjoyed getting to hear about them. That was one of my goals for this particular series, was that I wanted you to be able to hear some of the newer things that are going on and figure out how you're going to fit them in, or if you even should. Some of the things maybe are not perfect for you, but I wanted to give you the experts analysis of these different ideas and tools so that then you could go through and say, yeah, I want to do this, not now. I need to jump on this one. I'm going to save this one for later. And so next week, we're going to be talking all about Pinterest. And there's some things about Pinterest that I bet you don't know. I've pulled them out from my good friend, Jana Osofsky, and she's sharing with us exactly what Pinterest is and how to get started so that you're off to a good start and you launch well on there. So I hope you can join us for Pinterest next week. We'll have same time. It will be on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We will go through Jana's interview and be talking about that. So thanks so much for being here. I hope you are enjoying these sessions and have a wonderful weekend. We will catch you next Friday, if not sooner, for our next interview. Take care, everybody, and I will talk to you soon.